Now, considering the last section of the type of input field that we have in HTML form elements, we're going to be looking at the text area input feed. The text area input feed, I just break so that I have some space and I create div to house it. Then, as usual, I create the label. Let me call this the bow. I want to take the biography of the user. So, and you know that biography is always more than a normal text. So I have this as my text area. Text area. Now this text area and input type of text, they are the same. It's just that the only difference is input type of text is input form element that has a type of text is expected to take a small number of characters, but for text area it's able to take large number of characters or words. So that's the only difference. So now, for example, if you want to enter names which is about 2 or 3 words, then you can use input type of text. But when you want to enter a long, maybe an essay, a short biography, and so on, then it's not right to use inputs elements with a type of text. You should use text area. Now this, just like other input fields, we also input elements, we also have ID that should be possibly be the same with the label for, and we also have name which is always used for the server side of the implementation. Let's call this the name to also be bow, and you can also have a placeholder. I believe you understand what the placeholder is. This enter your name is a placeholder. The words we show on the input feed before the user starts typing anything. You can also, let's say, maybe short biography. Let's just say enter your short bio, maybe a short biography, and you can make it required. And if we save now, you see that we have the text. Of course, you can choose to drag it, increase it, and enlarge it. But one thing that is right is user might not know that they can increase the size, but you can write a property that will increase the size using HTML, and that is by writing a property called rows. You can specify the rows to maybe to be 5. If you save it and you call off, you can increase it to 10. You can see that the higher the number of rows, the more the height of the text area, and the width is also always increased using columns or calls property, and you can specify the property in this case to be 30. If you are not good with 30, you can make it to be 50, but just that the columns or calls we increase the width, and that is that about text area. That is that about text area. So the placeholder is not showing. So if I try and bring it here, okay, think, okay, that is saying that as like the value or the label. Let's just leave it. Now the last form element that we are going to consider is the button element, because after this I might have put some entries into the form space or form field that you have provided. There's need to do something with those information. Maybe they should submit it as the case may be, or submit it, or maybe reset it, or anything you want them to do with the form information. And that is going to be done using, so we also have the button. Let me also put this in a div so that we have it on a separate line. So the button is to maybe submit, and you can specify what you want this button to do. Is maybe you want to the user to submit the information, and the button takes some property, and the property or attributes is that you can specify the type. Of course, any button that is inside a form element, automatically by default they are type of submit. So meaning that when the user, even if you don't specify this type to be submit, once the user click on it, it will trigger the submit action of the form. So you can also specify the name to be maybe submit, and you can also have a value for it. So value, it's just what the form reads. Now you have the form, So when you click on this form, then maybe these have entered their name, they have entered their email, they have selected their profile picture, maybe you are working on the social media app and selected their country. Once they click submit, then it will post information to the server. Now we also have another type of form of button. Sorry, we also have another type of button. Let me just duplicate it for us. Also have another type of button, and that is the reset button. For example, maybe the user have entered something and they just want to reset. They just want to reset their entries. Then they will use you can specify this type to also be a type of reset. So reset, and you can make the name to be the same thing or make it something different, depends on you. You can also make the value to be reset. Now if you save it, let me just change call this reset. If you save it now, let's say you have some random values here, let's just say you have some random values. So pick some random values. So once you click on reset, so you just put some random values. So if you click on reset, it's going to take the form to its default state, and that is that about form field elements in HTML form.